Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to do another One Piece chapter review and chapter 1074, Mark 3. Let's see, I'm doing this chapter review now because, tomorrow the official translation of 1075 will come out. Well, technically it's already tomorrow here in the UK, but pretty much I figured, I might as well get this done so that I can not being left behind again because I've had done that a few times. But anyway, yeah. Let's see. Let's see the 174th chapter, in which we follow up from the last one, in which I believe. Ooh, let's see what happened last time. I believe. Let me just. I really need to refresh my memory much better, but in which Stussy revealed to be a Vegapunk's spy and all that stuff, and the Straw Hats are getting ready to leave. Ed Weevil's been captured, and Vegapunk has disappeared. Let's see. We're now going to get the follow up to that chapter and all that stuff. So, yeah. Should be interesting. Let's see. Before we begin, the Jama 66 cover, in which Jama 66 Hour Emotion Excursions, Volume 30. 3 battle rivals and a picture of war to be the number 2 because, well, pretty much you have Caesar, Judge, and Queen fighting each other because, well, as the second best scientist, because, well, let's face it, at this point they can't be number 1, so yeah, they have to try and best the other. I do quite like the commercial thing here. I mean, you've got Cersei, Caesar Clown of all people, able to punch Queen. Queen with his robotic arm grabbing around Judge, and Judge punking a spear, and Caesar Clown. So, yeah. Anyways, not much has changed in the past compared to now and all that stuff. Caesar Judge fighting each other a few covered chapters back, but yeah, they look a bit more closer to what they were in the modern day, but much younger, if you will. Like Caesar with his gas through and let's see hair, Queen with his more muscular body, and the Judge with his just Jama 66 look, if you will. But anyway, onto the actual chapter and all that stuff. Let's see, and I think there are some other references here I might not know about the cover, but yeah, but see back to like an area called Fabriso Fay or Faberiso Phase Egghead. I'm not sure. It might just be the way it's been written. I can't quite understand it. Let's see. The CP0's agents are shocked at the fact that whatever's been attacking them is supposed to be world government agents for the Navy. Supposed to belong to the Navy. Let's see. As they complain, they've been taken about their own and that stuff as they try to shoot at it, but it's revealed to be a Pathista Kuma, that stuff, and it's, let's see, a PX3. It's got the PX3 on it and the number 41, and we get like a more cyborg Kuma with a more, I suppose you could describe Kuma with a different art, it's a different look and get from what we normally get, and with a new ability as well, as some sort of bubble shield blocking the bazooka fat ass from the CP0 agent. With them questioning what those powers are, with another explaining that it's a bubble shield and that's one of Vegapunk's inventions. Apparently, it's the ultimate protection, if you will, as it's been fully properly introduced as a naval science team battle weapon, Pathista. But yeah, as it tells the CP0s to resist resistance and all that stuff, and be taken to Factory Building B and all that stuff. As when the CP0 reveals that it's actually one of the Cyberpol agent reveals that it's one of the superior redesigned prototypes that compared to one at the Paramount World, as it's the Mark III Pathista. With like then as a result, all the CP0 agents end up laying down their arms and that stuff. But anyway, let's see, they question who on earth is giving these orders and all that stuff as he takes them in. And then we see someone hear someone saying not for this person to move as their injuries are, and it's revealed to be none other than I can't believe I just forgot his name. I'm forgetting his name. There you go. Punk. Let's see. Come on. Let's see. I am not. Let's see. At my best today. Sorry, Han. Come on. On a second. I'm just. Let's see. Names just. The names. For some reason, the name is just lost to me for one reason or another today. Let's see. Sorry about this. Yeah, it's Santamaru. How could I forget the name? I am sorry, people. That is just embarrassing for me. But yeah. Oops. Santamaru is pretty much Santamaru is revealed to be back conscious again. He has ordered the Mark III Pacifistas to assist Vegapunk and all that stuff, even though he complains about how it's his vacation day. Let's see, when we're at the Frontier Dome is closed, he can't really get in contact with Vegapunk and all that stuff. So, thinking to what Luffy said about keeping his promise of protecting him, he decides that, given the fact that the Marines keep communicating him, that is also preventing them from getting updates. Realizing that he's also a rebel too, decides that while that's gone on, he will have his last act be is to deploy every Pacifista Mark III and deploy all 50 of them, to be a matter of fact. And given the fact that Luffy's going to take away Vegapunk and the ship, he gives them the order to make sure that they set off safely, and telling them to watch out for the Navy and to keep an eye on the horizon and all that stuff. Given the CP0 agents Cypherpod agents locked up. Santamaru realizing that something's happening on the island. He at least makes sure that he tells the Pacifistas to make sure that regardless of what happens, make sure Vegapunk, their creator, gets off this island. First of all, despite my embarrassment of not remembering Santamaru's name, it's good to see. It's no surprise that he's not really actually dead, but granted, it was more just unconscious from the beginning. But it's good to see, though granted, it doesn't look good of Rob Lucci's job as an assassin, but it's good to see that Santamaru is, despite being severely injured, is still determined to make sure, that his boss Vegapunk is still alive. Get out safely and alive and all that stuff. That he is willing to become a full-on rebel against the world government and all that stuff, including the Navy, realizing what they're trying to do and all that stuff, and what they do when they realize you got away of Cycle Zero. And all that stuff. And I do like how he's just willing to trust Luffy and all that stuff, and just realizes what the situation is right now, that he deploys all the latest models of the Pacifistas to make sure Vegapunk escapes and all that stuff. But yeah, speaking of the Mark III, I do like their new design and all that stuff. It's got sort of more military sort of like get up, if you will. It sort of feels more like a sort of military thing, with a few bits of, I guess you could say, cyborg or more like leather parts, if you will. Also, kind of like the glasses that they have as well. I also kind of find it cool that they have this sort of like bubble shield and all that stuff. I think I remember listening to Grand Ryan reviews, and when he was reviewing this chapter, talked about how Oda talked about one of his favorite panels was when and Shabba were those bubbles were explained, and apparently these bubbles might be something related to that. But yeah, it's interesting how they're supposed to be the ultimate protection. I don't necessarily that will be truly the case, but I think someone will probably breach them. But yeah, they've so far shown that they're being quite effective. If they're just as effective as the prototypes, but in fact, if not more. Granted, I haven't fought anyone significant yet, but yeah. Plus, there is like 50 of them. So yeah, so at the very least, it looks like the Straw Hats, besides themselves and the Vegapunks, have at least 50 Pacifistas that they can rely on in the upcoming fight against the Marines. Though we do not know yet if the Elder Star, Five Elder Saturn can control them like they can do with the Sephirim and all that stuff. So yeah. Anyway, oh yes, back at the lab phase at Egghead and all that stuff. With people asking Luffy where Bonnie is and all that stuff, but he's exhausted from running all over the place, and Chopper realizes that Luffy has broken his hover shoes and all that stuff, with Luffy telling Chopper not to rat him out as he doesn't have to get allowance to fix it, so that's kind of funny. That sounds like something that Nami would say, but yeah, I quite like that panel. So yeah, props to that. Luffy asking where Bonnie and Vegapunk is. Shaka informs him that he can see everything around with his monitors, but Luffy getting annoyed that you should have mentioned that in the first place instead of going on a wild goose chase. Oh, and the fact that Barney is also safely here and all that stuff in one of the camps he did. He's also even further annoyed by that. So yeah. Hold on a second. But yeah, we then get Zoro. But we then get Zoro, Stussy, and Brock arriving inside the lab. And this time they all have the futuristic looks to them and all that stuff. So, but yeah, let's see. I'll just quickly. I'll give my thoughts in a second, but let's see. But yeah, I do quite to say briefly. I like the new designs and all that stuff. Let's see, with Brock and being amazed by the futuristic things, so wondering when they're supposed to be setting sail, Stella wondering where the real Vegapunk is. And then we get this really big double panel spread of the Straw Hats and all the Witsy and the majority of the Vegapunks together. Shaka commenting kind of suffering two anomalies at the moment, bracing himself. We can see Roos up looking at him, though, with the way Oda's drawn it, it makes it look like he's looking at his butt. But I think he's trying to analyze the situation. Chopper is really flying with his boots, and as Shaka saying how Stella's the disappearance of one big thing, and the other is lost control over the Frontier Dome. The Straw's asking what it means and all that stuff, but as I can say, and let's see, but I do like during the whole thing, you got Brock, let's see, looking, I believe, at either Atlas or let's see, York. Also, you got Sanji looking at York, Ritzy going like, Ritzy lovey-dovey, like, oh, beautiful woman. And we end up seeing that York is actually as big as Atlas, actually as tall as Atlas. She's not a regular sized human. And you also have Brock looking at her, and I think even Zoro of all people. But yeah, other than that, you see Nami kicking Rob Lucci, with Robin trying to calm her down, saying, you don't need to do that. Frankie also taking an eye on Rob Lucci. And let's see, Luffy just commenting that Atlas is okay. She's waving at him. And Edison is saying how they got replacement parts to help her and all that stuff. So, yep. I think Jimbo's just looking about, really. Let's see, as the Straw Hats are then informed by, let's see, Shaka that they're no longer able to leave the lab and all that stuff. As he explains that they can't get out without, let's see, without being fired by the lasers, which, you get, Usopp and Chopper being shocked the fact that how we're supposed to get Vegapunk off this island and all that stuff. With Shaka commenting how well that's probably their current case is probably true in that. So he asks the others to split into groups and help find the original Vegapunk Stella. Telling them in the meantime he'll figure out a way to prepare the dome. But Frankie wonders how can they find him if he can't find them in those monitors and all that stuff. With him saying that normally he had a view of the lab of everything, but the Gritzy, the Sephiroth's damage caused some of the cameras to be leave their station, then their mission view, leave their station, it's the station or lost consciousness, so they're a bit blind in certain areas and all that stuff. Let's see, but he has other satellites and working inspecting in the lab, so he says that they fall out of the Can Snails news. Anyway, Shaka gets a report from Paraphocus saying there's no one on the third building floor of building C and all that stuff. As he realizes this, let's see, asking, he ends up telling him where he should head up next. Nami decides that, you know what, let's join the hunt. He's doing it too. Let's see. But Brock's saying how he will accompany her, and Nami says also as well to get any treasure she can. Stussy wants to go search for Vegapunk and all that stuff because he's concerned, and Sanji wants to tag along with Stussy. Zoro wants to go himself, but Sanji starts saying nope, and then hit Chopper and Robin join along, saying that he would just get lost. Chopper being just as annoyed and all that stuff, but Robin just saying, just be a good boy and just do it and just stay here. But anyway, you got Luffy and Zoro just sitting down, relaxing and all that stuff. Let's see. But thinks that the other, let's see, Toro's complaining a little bit, but does think the others could probably be able to find the others before their own. But yeah, but I feel like his pride as a swordsman with lost directions has been insulted again. But Zoro ends up questioning Luffy how long he's been running around since he's just been panting and all that stuff. With Luffy explaining how he puts all his let's see, effort to the max and all that stuff. But I do like how to talk about how they can't believe they ran into Kaku and Rob Lucci and all that stuff, given the fact that I saw them in the Water 7 saga, which does lead to ponder whether or not Iceberg is actually okay from since I last met him. They have no idea how, in fact, he probably thinks Frankie has done something to himself until maybe he sees the Thousand Sunny, but I could be wrong. But yeah. Okay, I do like Luffy's little banter with Vegapunk style. It's like, wait, you had that? You could have done that all this time, despite all my efforts searching. So now he's tired. So yeah, that might come back to haunt him in the future. But that would just have to be a wait and see moment for Luffy. Meanwhile, Brock, Stussy, and so I really like their design for the most part. You got Brock, the standard kind of coat thing that sort of like Luffy was wearing, but he also Like Chopper has a bit of a helmet to protect his afro, if you will. Zoro looks like let's see, looks a bit lot like Lilith, as many have commented, and only except for like this is the male getup of the thing, as it's black. It's all black instead of just black jacket, leather jacket with like around the white futuristic suit, if you will. Stussy in the West also has a leather jacket on, but also has the white sort of get up that you could see Nami wearing and all that stuff. And yes, that includes the leggings as well. So yeah. Oh well, it's just like there's Dritzy just style of doing that. Let's see, particularly with like the female characters that look like Nami, but it is what it is, whether you like it or not. But I will admit she looks pretty good in it. Either way, but yeah. But Zoro's is definitely the best because he's now got this carrying the sword on his back. But this is one of the things I do like about the whole this arc is like, despite the fact all the Straw Hats are wearing sort of similar costumes and all that stuff, they're all sort of unique enough to be their own individual selves and reflect their personalities. That's always been a bit of a problem with like between multiple army units and all that stuff in fictional media. It's just that they all look too much the same, but especially when you're trying to make them main characters. But yeah, but anyway, but Straw Hats are main characters, so I guess that doesn't really matter too much. But first of all, I do like how that double panel just shows all the stuff going on. Let's see, you got a few of the Straw Hats simping for York. And it's really surprising that York is as big as she is, but I think it's fine if you ask me. I do like how Luffy's more prioritizing the fact that Atlas is okay after she fed him and all that stuff, so there's points for that. But yeah. But Stella, this Witsy remains calm and all that stuff and gets the Straw Hats to go look for him and all that stuff, despite some of the protests, particularly Chopper and Usopp. But the Clone General there is willing to stay around for a bit. Anyway, but yes, yeah, but I do like how obviously like Witsy still has cameras set all over the place, but due to recent battlefields, you know, it's sort of compromised it, allowing quite a few people to probably sneak in. But yeah, but I do like how let's see, they decide to split up to groups, and you have Nami going like, "Oh, I'm going along to." Let's see, besides making this quicker, there's also treasure about. So yeah, Nami always the financial girl, if you will. So I like that. I also, well, let's see, this might be more controversial, but Stella going by, let's see, heading off, but Sanji going like, take me with you as well. Let's see, but yeah, but that's Sanji for you. He always likes beautiful women, so yeah. But I do like how all the Straw Hats, including Robin, tell so no, don't go looking. You just get lost and all that stuff. I thought that was funny. Let's see, so yeah, but I do like how that just leads Zoro to stick with Luffy. You know, the two strongest fighters of Straw Hats, keeping an eye on Rob, Lucci, and Kaku. And I just like how Zoro's just seemingly commenting on Luffy's new abilities and its side effects and all that stuff. And even asking him if he knows how to find the map, though. That's not good for probably let me just wait. Is there a map? Let me just let's see. Well, actually, Zoro just cannot. I don't know where I got the map thing from. I apologize, but Zoro just should see is just commenting how it feels a bit surreal to just run into their personal arch foes for the NS lobby arc and all that stuff. But yeah, I do like how they're just so calm about them being locked there, being handcuffed there by Sea Stone prisons. But yeah, but I do like how they end up thinking about Iceberg Song, and We also see that in the next few panels that they're also being cautious of like their actual names and all that stuff. But yeah, as we're at the Paw Room Lab and all that stuff, we see Barney looking at Kuma's memories, and we see a young Kuma as a child being beaten up, and she realizes it's him and is getting concerned and all that stuff, telling them that he needs to come back, otherwise they'll be killed. But Kuma doesn't want to. As Barney tries to helplessly try and save this Kuma, but of course it's a memory, so she can't do anything about it, but all except for cry about seeing the pain that her father was in his childhood. As especially when he asks to be begging for death and all that stuff. But yeah. Eventually we see that he gets taken to the world nobles, and at this point, Joey Barney is just horrified of what she's seeing, particularly what they're probably doing to her father, arguably, as she ends up jumping out of like Kuma's paw memory thing, realizing that all her sword skills back. So we realize it's not really it is not a government power and all that stuff, but it's more of just something outside of his control, really. But anyway, we also see the original Vegapunk trying to climb the wall still, and you still get Marines trying to shoot him down. So yeah. But anyway, you have Barney being feeling a bit she can't pair, but unless she's like ready for it. But given the situation with her father, she's determined to find out the truth. So yeah, but I'll admit, as for this hold on a sec. Sorry, I'm just really thirsty all of a sudden, but now this is arguably this will probably arguably be the highlight of the chapter if it's not for what comes next. But I will say this: it is very interesting to see let's see how we're getting glimpses of like Kuma's backstory. Granted, you could argue it's technically a flashback, but not in the flashback that we're used to. Just like used to seeing Shonen like seeing an actual character's past. Instead, you have someone watching it from a distance, which sometimes I've kind of like to imagine what I would do if I was to write flashbacks. But yeah, but it's kind of like how Roku showed Aang his past life, stuff like that. And it's I do like how but it's the SBS let's see child Kuma that we're seeing. But yeah, but we can sort of probably really sympathize him as he's being beating up by these strangers who are like forcing him to do it, otherwise they'd die, but he really doesn't want to and begs them to stop. And I do like a Barney's reaction just throughout all of this, I will admit. So at some point, getting with the Celestial, being forced to do something that he doesn't want to do in front of the Celestial Dragons, but yeah. But arguably, this has got many people hyped as we might be we're getting closer to uncovering the secrets of Kuma and all that stuff. As well, arguably, probably one of the most tragic backstories. For some, wondering if this might be the same up on the Robin's tragedy with like Urahara, but we'll have to wait and see on that bit. But I do like how Barney is just so horrified what's going on that she tries to, he has to escape it for a bit, but is determined to find the truth out one way or another. Anyway, and I do like how the original Kuma is also still climbing the wall and all that stuff. But yeah. Anyway, we briefed to a bit of a small panel here and all that stuff page here with Paphagophus, let's see, Paphagophus, well, let's see, Vegapunk 4 and all that stuff, looking for like the main Stella and all that stuff. With him just commenting how the Sephiroth have caused such a mess of the place despite being created here. But mysterious figures walking behind him, and he just turns around, and then an explosion. Now, if you haven't read the next chapter yet, I won't give spoilers, but this chapter here, this bit here, seems to imply a bit of an Among Us situation going on. Some people looking about, looking about, and let's see, looking about and trying to find the Stella and all that stuff, like a task only to be like get attacked by the imposter, if you will. But Edison is likely being as whether or not he survived or has been badly damaged or not, or even dead and all that stuff remains to be seen. But he got attacked, and we have no idea who it is. We see like showy shadows and all that stuff, but many people are guessing it's either Stussy, Lilith, or the original Vegapunk himself, if you will. Now, Lilith, that would probably be in nature to be like evil or cheeky at the very least, but I can't really see how I wanted to take out the other Vegapunks. I mean, the only one she doesn't like is Stella. I mean, is Shaka. Shaka, because well, he seems to be too good to be sure as an ally, I think, for most people. And well, I can't recall. Let's see, Han, and let's see the main Vegapunk. Oh, yeah, it would be. And some people are saying one of the main Vegapunk might be the spy. He might not be the good guy. Everyone seems to think he is, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, we are with the World Economic News Journal. Let's see, blimp, if you will, after escaping the world government for not trying to cover up a. For not trying to cover up a story for like a scoop and all that stuff. After Reverie, which I assume is probably Cobra's assassination, but we'll have to wait and see. But we can clearly hear him being excited about this latest scoop, if you will. Let's see, and it's just kind of just now it's just landing the feather in his lap and all that stuff. But as we see big news, Morgan's getting excited over the world government trying to assassinate the great Dr. Vegapunk. Let's see, and he's surprised by that, given the fact that believe it, comparing it to your Ahara incident and all that stuff. But you've got let's see. Oh yeah, big news. Morgan's just talking about how this might actually backfire on them in the long term, as clones are quite popular with like apparently Republic citizens, but we'll have to wait and see, especially when Order 66 happens. But yeah. Hold on a second. Where was I? Yeah. The propaganda and all that stuff, but yeah, talking about how Vegapunk is beloved by many compared to like Urahara, given all the inventions he's helped to get people out of poverty. But yeah, but with him just commenting about how the government has picked the wrong fight this time, but I think he seems to believe that Luffy is now the light that will bring both a new dawn or something, or at least a new era to the world, as he points to bounties and all that stuff. But Morgan's decides to have the article tweeted big instead of like Straw Hat here. Let's see, fights. Let's see, Luffy the Emperor again after this. Let's see, blah blah But pretty much, you have big news. Morgan's just like commenting how Luffy just happens to be there, but besides the fact that decides to make it so that Luffy is the one that's kidnapping Vegapunk and all that stuff, and make a deal with the Marines and the Navy, I mean the world government, to get paid for Lexi doing this sort of headlines, so that way they can cover up their misdeeds and all that stuff. Even give them a bit of cash, but yeah. But the others, particularly Vivi, is not having it when he asks about how did they manage, how did the Straw Hats manage to keep let's see, let's see, with the world government, let's see, coming to him, let's see, for covering up their misdeeds by making it Luffy look like the bad guy. But Vivi, but after quite a couple of chapters since the end, after the end of the big Kaido fight, we finally see Vivi again, and we see that she's alive and well. Well, we don't know if she's actually unwell or not, given the fact that her father died and all that stuff, but this one, I think, is probably a lot more common from what I can tell. But yeah, but Vivi's a lot more common from what I can tell. But yeah, but she's complaining about how the genre's full of rubbish like this. But we also end up with the unlikely surprise of Wapol being there, and he's trying to get Vivi to behave and all that stuff, since they still don't know if Morgan's is a government dog and all that stuff, but and try at the same time make sure that Vivi doesn't anger him. But Morgan's is having none of it and just saying how Vivi was crying yesterday and telling her now to not do her job and all that stuff. Let's see, has he declared himself in this newsroom that he is a mover and a shaker? Let's see, he's deciding it's not about what faction or fact it is, but let's see, he's a scientist and doesn't need to worry about this stuff. So it's saying how what he does is not about fact or fiction, it's about how what sells and all that stuff, and news being the biggest entertainment of all. Ending the chapter, so yeah. Okay, first of all, let's see, big news, Morgans. He strikes again, and this time he is not being a friend of Luffy's. He is now going to be an enemy in terms of the print thing, as apparently he's decided that this time he's going to make it look like Straw Hats captured Vegapunk and took him hostage, and the Marines trying to save him, rather than actually Luffy's the one that's trying to save him and prevent the world government, arguably the Marines, and also Cypher Poe, from assassinating him. So, yeah. So I do like okay. I've got lost where I was, sorry. But yeah, I do like how he is just looking at that. And it's just comparing it to like the O'Hara incident, which makes me think that he might know more of the truth of it, but decided to just keep the world government's lies. But yeah. But it is interesting how the two situations compare, because unlike O'Hara, they can't paint, which they can easily have painted as like these devil scholars, but here, Vegapunk is a much more beloved figure, so yeah. So it makes it difficult to like have the world turn him. It's like, why are you doing this to the great man? Which they won't understand unless they explain, which they do not want to explain the Void Century at all. So yeah, the world government's terrified of them coming back. So yeah. But yeah. But I do like how let's see more, but like I said, Morgan's is not really Luffy's ally, making him look out to be the bad guy, and also try and get a bit of a paycheck from Marines. And whether or not that makes the Marines excuse his previous behavior, I do not know. But yeah, but yeah, it's kind of cool seeing that, especially since apparently Homer tried to be a bit better, trying to reform all that stuff in The Simpsons, but I must be overthinking and going to a different topic. But yeah, but I do kind of like how Morgan's is like just stretching the truth just to fit his own agenda of entertainment, in which, and even resorts back to of course, Vivi when she accuses him of not being fair and modest and all that stuff. But yeah, his purpose is to give entertainment, but he will probably have to at some point come clean because you can't lie forever. But yeah. Other than that, but the main highlight, of course, is Vivi coming back and all that stuff, and it's revealed that she's been with none other than Wapol this entire time, which, to be fair, kind of makes sense because Wapol ends up contacting Morgan's during like the end of Act 2 break and all that stuff, as all the dojos are shut down, the Marines are heading towards them and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know if she's the only survivor of her youngling group, but props to her at the very least. But yeah, Vivian Vega and Vivian Wapol, the most unlikely dynamic duo. Let's see there is, but yeah. But I do like how Vivi is end up just defending Luffy, knowing his character, and like he would never do what Morgans is accusing, and even though he tells her to shut up, it's like you're not helping yourself, dude. But given the fact that his job, he thinks his job as a journalist is entertainment, which to be fair, that seems to be the most case with most journalism these days. But yeah. But yeah, I do like but yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm getting tired. But yeah, just like the return of Vivi after so long, it's just like, ooh. And some are now predicting she may be the next Straw Hat. Whether or not that's the case, I do not know. But yeah, it is interesting to see the fact that, okay, this is what Wapol was talking about and what we'll see from now on, given the fact that, one complaint I've seen is some people feel like Barney isn't entirely too upset that what happened to, like, Crocodile, but I think most people forget about the whole shrinking thing, and Hank Pym's and Scotland's just too late to be there to prevent it from happening. But yeah, either way, it works to see Vivi, and look forward to seeing whether or not she might actually be in the next Straw Hat. So yeah. Overall, I like the new Mark III designs of the Pathistas. I like the new looks for Zoro, Zoro's group, if you will, Brock and Stella. I like how the Straw Hats are split up into teams to try and find the other one, the other. Only for some of them to get attacked and all that stuff. But Luffy and Zoro just doing guard duty. I liked that as well. But yeah, given the history. But as long as they keep do not let their emotions control them, if you will, general way, they should be fine. I do like how they're just admiring their work and all that stuff. I do like and not to mention seeing learning that York is the same size as Atlas, but yeah, and the fact that we may have a saboteur and all that stuff. So yeah, and of course Kuma's backstory being probably shown a bit more, showing that he's rather a very tragic character. But yeah, other than that. Oh, okay, but yeah. But other than that, let's see. Given the fact that she's had that future prediction thing ever since the war started, and she can always see when the team's gonna, But at the very least, she has no control of it. But yeah, overall, it's a very good episode. I wouldn't say it's the best, but yeah, it's probably a 7 to 8 out of 10. Really enjoyed it for all that stuff, particularly like Return of Vivi. But yeah, otherwise. I'd be more inclined to do a 5 to 6, but otherwise, yeah, it's a pretty fun movie. I would probably recommend that. But also, I would recommend this chapter of One Piece. and I look forward to seeing what people think of 1075 when I read it myself and all stuff. For those who are listening along this time, I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. I am Blue Star Saber, signing off. Heading to bed now. Goodbye.